Hello and welcome viewers. Let's straight away get you all the news that is happening at Superfast 50. Ranil Wickremesinghe has officially taken oath as the acting president. This comes after GOTABAYA Rajapaksa fled the country early this morning amid devastating conditions in Sri Lanka. Wickremesinghe will remain in the top post till July 20th. In the recent development, in fact, Rajapaksa to officially quit from the post today itself. Now remember, if Ranil Wickremesinghe resigns from the top post, Sri Lanka is expected to dive in an anarchy with no top leader ruling the economically hit country.
The president, we are living our own life. It's a freedom.
Now, in the recent development, angry protesters stormed the national TV station in Sri Lanka as violent protesters continue to throng the economically hit state. Now, the protesters went live on the TV station. This comes in the backdrop of the state of emergency which continues in Sri Lanka. The president of Sri Lanka, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, fled the country early Wednesday, days after the protesters stormed his home and office and the official residence of his prime minister amid a month-long economic crisis that triggered severe shortages of food and fuel. Now, the Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled the country on Wednesday, hours before he was due to step down from the top post after Sri Lanka's demonstration over a devastating economic crisis and Rajapaksa's mishandling of the economy that has bankrupted the country. The Sri Lankan protesters continue to storm into the presidential palace on Wednesday. A growing line of people waited to enter the residence, many of whom had travelled from outside Colombo on public transport. Meanwhile, police retaliated to the protesters with firing tear gas shells. Now, thousands of Sri Lankan marched towards the Prime Minister's office from the presidential palace. This comes after the President Gotabaya, in fact, Rajapaksa, fled the country allegedly to Maldives. Meanwhile, heavy military was deployed at Sri Lankan Prime Minister's residence as protesters spark again.
Who do you want as a president? Who do you want?
Who's the some people is asking who's the take sometime Sajid, sometime Antakumar Dishanak, I don't know. Everybody is like that people after some time this prime minister is the president. After that good country. No petrol, no gas, no like that. Already that's not a problem in Sri Lanka.
The Prime Minister's office has declared a state of emergency in the economically hit Sri Lanka. This comes after thousands of protesters took to the streets after Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled to Maldives when Lankans continue to bear the severe brunt of unprecedented crisis. Security forces have been deployed to manage the violent protests in Sri Lanka, and this comes amid the violent protests exploding in Sri Lanka after the president has fled the country. Visuals on the screen show protesters thronging the streets of Sri Lanka, and the protesters have been on the streets all across Sri Lanka with the banners saying "Go Gotabaya, Go." With the deteriorating conditions in Sri Lanka, several protesters were reportedly injured amid the violence on the streets of Sri Lanka. Now, the dramatic visuals show hundreds thronging on the streets chanting slogans, and police has also fired tear gas on the protesters while military continuously tries to disperse the protesters from the streets. And now Lankans could also be seen removing the barricades in angry, making way for the unstoppable protesters. The US Embassy in Colombo on Wednesday cancelled its consular services as a precaution for the next 2 days amidst the deepening political turmoil and economic crisis in Sri Lanka. The embassy announced the cancellation of the consular services in a tweet. And also getting you all the updates of how after RHEA Chakrabarti has been charged for buying narcotics for the late actor Sushant Singh Rajput, who died in 2020, a charge sheet filed by the NCB named her and 34 others as accused in the high-profile case. Following the NCB's charge sheet against RHEA Chakrabarti in the high-profile case, BJP leader Ram Kadam said that the charge sheet against RHEA Chakrabarti in drugs case must be presented in the court, and Kadam further accused Maharashtra government for allegedly protecting RHEA Chakrabarti earlier.
चक्रवर्ती के ड्रग के मामले में जो चार्जशीट अदालत में प्रस्तुत हुई है, बहुत सारी गंभीर बातें अब देश के सामने आई हैं। सवाल यह उठता है कि उस समय की तत्कालीन महाराष्ट्र की सरकार रिया चक्रवर्ती का बचाव करने के पीछे क्या कारण था। वे रिया के पक्ष में वकालत के रूप में सामने आए थे, उसके प्रवक्ता बन चुके थे। इन सब के पीछे क्या कारण था, यह सवाल आज भी महाराष्ट्र की उन 3 दलों की सरकार को ये देश की जनता पूछना चाहती है। और रहा मामला ड्रग का, जो भी दोषी है उन्हें सजा मिलनी चाहिए, पर अब भी ऐसे कुछ चेहरे पर्दे के पीछे छुपे हैं। क्या वर्तमान में आज भी वो ड्रग का सेवन कर रहे हैं?
Now, in the recent development, the Supreme Court assures hearing on Karnataka's hijab law next week. The apex court to hear the pleas challenging the Karnataka High Court verdict refusing to lift the ban on wearing hijab in educational institutions. Now, Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramanna said that an appropriate bench will hear the matter next week. Ahead of the presidential elections, Congress leader Ajay Kumar claimed that the NDA president candidate Draupadi Murmu represents a very evil philosophy of India. He further said that she shouldn't be made a symbol of Adivasis.
Represents a very evil philosophy of India. So we should not mistake we should not make Draupadi Murmu ji as a symbol of Adivasi.
Now, shocking footage shows Coast Guard flag and Indian flag dumped in Kochi's place as well. Now, police has registered a case in the matter while further investigation is underway. Apart from the tricolor, Coast Guard helmets, uniforms and other accessories were also found in the dump. Former Chief Minister and Jammu Kashmir PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti said that the situation in J&K has been deteriorating since 2019. Now, further raising questions on Amarnath cloudburst, Mufti said that the reasons behind the recent cloudburst, which claimed nearly 16 lives, were unknown.
की तादाद में वहां लोग भेज दिए, नतीजा ये हो गया कि जब क्लाउड बर्स्ट हो गया, अभी तक मालूम नहीं हमें, क्योंकि ये बता नहीं रहे हैं सच्ची बात। ये सिर्फ 15-16 लोगों की बात करें, मगर जितने लोग गायब हैं, जिस तरह मोटरसाइकिल वहां से निकलते हैं, जिस तरह घोड़ों की लाशें निकलती हैं, खच्चरों की लाशें निकलती हैं, और जितने लोग गायब हैं, उससे लगता है कि नुकसान जानी बहुत ज्यादा हुआ है, जितना ये बताते हैं।
Now, National Congress spokesperson Gagan Bhagat hits out at Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha on administration over the Amarnath Yatra tragedy. Further hitting out at Manoj Sinha, he said that the National Congress demands probe panel into the Amarnath tragedy.
भारी बारिश थी, भारी बारिश का अनुमान हमें हो जाता है। क्लाउड बर्स्ट जो होती है एक नेचुरल कैलामिटी है। ये लोग एक एक्सीडेंट नहीं था, ये जानबूझ के कराई हुई चीज़ थी। आपको पता था बारिश आने वाली है, पहाड़ खिसकते हैं, पस्सियां गिरती हैं, ऊपर से स्लज जाता है। आपने वहाँ टेंट लगवा दिए, लंगर लगवा दिए, 25 टेंट लगवा दिए, 3 लंगर लगवा दिए वहाँ।
Now, a female teacher allegedly thrashed a girl student brutally for making noise in the classroom in a government school in Unnao district of Uttar Pradesh. The teacher was suspended after a video of her thrashing a minor girl student went viral.
जी, ऐसा एक वीडियो संज्ञान में आया है। कल काफ़ी वायरल हुआ वीडियो, तो हम लोग खुद जांच करने गए थे। आज मैं भी था वहाँ विद्यालय में, और जांच करने पे पाया गया है कि उस वीडियो में सत्यता है, वहाँ घटना घटी है और शिक्षा मित्र का उसमें पूर्णतः दोष पाया गया है और शिक्षा मित्र पे कार्रवाई की गई है। विभागीय कार्रवाई करते हुए उनके ऊपर मुकदमा दर्ज कराया गया है, साथ ही उनका मानदेय रोक दिया गया है। और वहाँ की जो प्रधान शिक्षिका है, उनका भी दायित्व बनता है इसमें कि उनके संज्ञान में जैसे मामला आया हो उन्हें उच्च अधिकारियों को सूचित करना चाहिए था, जो उनके द्वारा नहीं किया गया, तो उसको देखते हुए उनका निलंबन भी किया गया है।
Now, the National Investigating Agency conducted searches at 9 locations in Rajasthan's Udaipur district in connection with the killing of the Hindu tailor Kanhaiya Lal last month. NIA has seized all the digital devices and other incriminating materials which will further help in the probe. Now, further investigation in the case is underway. India has reported more than 16,000 fresh cases with 45 deaths in the last 24 hours. The daily positivity rate currently stands at 3.68% in the country. Now, West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankar on the state's law and order situation said that there is an extortion in every corner of the states by goons. He further said that the state has been communalized with the empowerment.
State has serious problems of governance that are open secret, that are known to one and all. But because of fear, intense fear, not even media is able to speak about them. I appeal to the civil society, the intelligentsia, to rise to the occasion and speak about
Now, the BJP state president Satish Punya on the Udaipur killing said that Rajasthan's chief minister Ashok Gehlot should answer on who is responsible for the state's situation and not divert from the main issue. Now, Punya further compared Gehlot with Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar, who erased Congress existence, saying that Ashok Gehlot is the same like the emperor.
देश के मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत जी को देख रहा हूं, वो पहली बार इतने असहज और असुरक्षित लगे हैं और व्यक्ति इस तरीके की विचलित करने वाली बातें इसलिए करता है कि मस्तिष्क में जब ऑक्सीजन का और रक्त का प्रवाह सामान्य नहीं होता है तो वो कुछ भी आरोप लगाते हैं। उनके आरोपों को न कोई गंभीरता से लेता है और इस तरीके के बयान देके उन्होंने गृह मंत्री की नैतिक जिम्मेवारी को भी गिराया है। यदि उनमें नैतिकता होती तो पहले तो ये जवाब देते कि प्रदेश की कानून व्यवस्था इतनी विकृत क्यों है, उसका जिम्मेवार कौन है।
Karnataka Home Minister Araga Jananendra announced that he will reduce the jail term of prisoners if they reveal other inmates using mobiles or any other banned substances inside the cell. Now, he further added that a reward of Rs 2,000 will be awarded to the police personnel who will catch hold of the malpractice inside the prison. Following Karnataka Home Minister Araga Jananendra's announcement on the reduction of the jail term, opposition slammed him, questioning his constitutional rights to do so, and the opposition said that the Karnataka Home Minister has lost trust in his own police and henceforth seeking the help of the prisoners to catch their inmates involved in illegal activities. Now, in a heart-wrenching incident in Pune's Khed Taluka, 3 children lost their lives after falling into a huge pothole. As per the complaint given by the father of the kids, said that his children lost their lives after falling into a huge pothole in the Khed Taluka in Pune. Now, the Mumbai Police Commissioner has also revoked a circular which mandated that no FIR for molestation or the offences under the POSCO Act should be registered. We are also learning that there is in fact a circular that has been released by the Mumbai Police Commissioner, in fact revoking that circular which mandated that no FIR for the molestation or offences under the POSCO Act should be registered without the Zonal Deputy Commissioner of Police's permission. Group of nearly 8 terrorists tried to sneak in via the Poonch line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. An infiltration attempt was witnessed during the midnight along the line of control. Now, the Indian Army neutralized 3 terrorists on the spot amid heavy firing. This comes days ahead of the Amarnath Yatra in Poonch, and meanwhile, further search operations are underway. AIADMK Interim General Secretary EPS and outside party leader OPS moved to the Madras High Court against the sealing of the party headquarters by the Tamil Nadu government on July 11. The High Court is likely to hear the matter today itself. Punjab's Advocate General AG Sidhu was attacked by the unidentified people while he was travelling via train Some unidentified people pelted stones at the train near Panipat. Now AG Sindhu filed the complaint to the police for further investigation, and the Punjab Advocate General appeared in the Supreme Court in the Lawrence Bishnoi case yesterday itself. Now in another jolt to the UDDHAV camp, Yuva Sena leader Vikas Gogavale joins the Eknath Shinde camp, and Vikas was seen at the Chief Minister's residence late last night, formally extending support on the occasion of Guru Purnima. He also claimed that more than 50 office bearers of Yuva Sena will join the Shinde camp this week itself. Amid incessant rains all across Maharashtra, the Andheri subway in Mumbai continues to remain submerged under the rain waters. Now, the Regional Meteorological Center predicted moderate to heavy rain in the city and suburbs. Isolated places may face very heavy rainfall as well. In Maharashtra, an incident of landslide was reported in Vasai area of the Palghar district. Now, the collector of the area informed that 4 people have been rescued, but many are feared trapped in the damaged houses. 13 NDRF teams along with 4 SDRF teams have been deployed at the spot while the search operation is underway. Amid severe rain in Maharashtra, severe waterlogging was seen in Mumbai's Mankud Railway Bridge Road. Due to the incessant rains in Mumbai, the traffic speed has also slowed down. With no respite in heavy rains all across Maharashtra, a red alert has been issued by the IMD in Pune. The city has been overflowing with no respite in the rain. Vehicular movement has been stopped at the Baba Pire Bridge as the water level of the rivers increase. An incident of landslide was reported in Uttarakhand's Chamoli area as well. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted a possibility of heavy rains all across Uttarakhand, and Uttarakhand has been receiving incessant rains with incident of landslides reported in several districts of the state. Now, following incessant rains in Uttarakhand, Badrinath Highway has been closed due to a landslide at the various places in Chamoli district. Now, remember, the IMD has predicted heavy rains in several districts of Uttarakhand, including Dehradun and isolated places for the next 2 days. Amidst incessant rainfall in the western state of Gujarat, several waterlogging images have come to light in several parts of Ahmedabad on Wednesday. Meanwhile, with the roads submerged and rainwater inundating residential premises alike, the flood situation in the Navsari district remained grim. IMD has issued a red alert in Gujarat till July 16th. A flash flood triggered by the cloudburst has been reported in Himachal Pradesh's Manali area, and contractors were engaged in civil works when flash flood caused the damages to the machines. Till now, no lives have been reportedly lost in the incident. As heavy rainfall continues to lash Himachal, the state has been put on high alert by the weather department. Incessant rains continue to lash Madhya Pradesh, causing severe flood situation in the district with more than 70 houses have been submerged, and the highway connecting the Bhopal-Betul has also been closed for the second time in 24 hours due to the overflowing Mancha river. Long queues of vehicles could be seen on both sides of the highway. With no respite in heavy rains, the Indian Meteorological Department has once again issued the 3rd alert in Telangana, giving the rising water level of Godavari River.